Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
And a child shall lead them to buy our merch.
Oh, jeez, babe. All right, ready? Here we are. We are about to review Daniel's last song for this night's
For our
stream.
fire stream, we've been doing a 3.5-hour fire stream where we
the
hang
big
out with
homie
all
Daniel.
our friends, with the big homie Daniel. You're watching it on YouTube like a regular, like a herb, like some, whatever, because you weren't part of the fire stream, because you didn't know, because you didn't like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and this is going to result in the destruction of the flux capacitor. Thanos is going to show up, do this thing. Your best friend is going to turn into a pile of ash right in front of you, and it's all going to be your fault. And right as he dissolves into the ether, he's going to say, "Why weren't you subscribed to Vin and Sori?"
But your friend will be gone, so.
So, having said that, it is now time, ladies and gentlemen.
For more Darkthrone.
Iconoclasm sweeps Cappadocia by the band Darkthrone. We will have the lyrics up later. Right now, we want you to focus on the metal. You've already screwed up enough. Don't push your luck. Here we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa! No, Vanilla! I'm looking at myself in this time warp here. You can see right there. The song was over. I had the monitor right there, but I didn't know it was down to 1 second. I thought it was like 20 seconds. Curses! Okay, so apparently this
It's going to take us a long time to break down these lyrics because there was a lot of them.
1991 is when this song came out.
Okay.
So one of the things I think that was cool about tonight is like
It was the 90s.
90s.
Yeah.
A lot of these were written in the 90s.
So Daniel, you're into the 90s, we see.
It appears to me, man, that 90s is kind of like a golden age for a lot of metal, man. You know, like you had like Korn came out in the 90s, Slipknot was a 90s band to a degree. All of the Nirvanas, like all that shit happened in the 90s. But meanwhile, in the black metal side and the death metal side, you had Darkthrone and other bands like this that we're now just coming into. When we did, what was that? What was the week we did? Grunge Week. When we did Grunge Week, that was the shit that I grew up hearing on MTV in the living room when I was playing Street Fighter in my room. So like half of the songs, I was like, oh, I remember that. You know, whatever. It was kind of like
that's kind of familiar.
It was a way of like going back and being like, yo, you were in the middle of that history. Tonight was more like, okay, this was the other side of what was going on in the 90s that you completely missed. That was not, because obviously none of these songs were hitting MTV or even the radio, much less MTV. And so, you know, I didn't even get to hear any of this stuff, you know, while I was playing Street Fighter. So like that was pretty cool about tonight. But man, like these are bands that like created genres, defined genres, refined genres, and then obviously they had the very offensive lyrical content and all the rest of it. To Perkinos's point, there was an unbelievable amount of quality death metal in the 90s, and you just wonder like what happens. Like how does something like that happen? And I can kind of guess because the 80s was kind of all like shiny and neon and you know 5,000 miles wide but 2 inches deep. Yeah. You know, like, and you had the hair metal and all of it was about dudes and you had dudes that were rocking makeup. But what the black metal guys did was they said, well, we'll wear makeup too. But they went in the complete opposite direction.
Right.
So I can see how, you know, 5 years of that, you can be like, okay, how many of these Rats and these Wasps and these other bands, how many Van Halens can you create? Yeah. Oh, look, you've got, you know, product in your hair and you've got, you know, you got makeup on and you look so beautiful, you know, like it's like you're sitting there an angry kid and you're pissed off and you want to ventilate. And then this guy comes on TV and you'd much rather kiss him than you know, rock out with him. And it's so beautiful. I mean, it's.
I never expected you to say.
I mean, it's 2021. Everybody's like comfortable with who they are now, right? Like, all right, it's cool, man. You're a very handsome fella, but I'm an angry person right now. I'm not trying to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I can understand how the 80s would create where it would create such a build up and a vacuum
that the next thing
of people like wanting to, you know, to play and do something different. And then boom, now you get the 90s, so you get death metal and you get people that are going the complete other way. And Overshadow Sean is exactly right. Quit making fun of Sebastian Bach. That guy was beautiful as hell, bro. He was showing up and shit his ears all the way. Just beautiful. And I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying, like, I can imagine being a teenager in that seats and Laban and being like, yo, man. Oh. That's what I'm saying. Look at this dude, man. Like, he looks like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I think he's beautiful as hell, bro. I mean, you know, like, he looks like Topanga from what do you call it? Boy Meets World. So I'm sure the dude, I'm sure the dude was metal as hell, but holy shit. Like, I need somebody I can... So then in comes Kurt Cobain with his flannel and all the rest of it, and a lot of us were like, hell yeah, that shit right there.
Yeah, no, I could agree with that.
But the metalheads on the other side were like, nah, bro, like, yeah, Kurt's okay, but... And then they found their place. Like, boom, here it is.
Oh, 100%.
This is our
100%.
place. We're going to rock corpse paint. We're going to go in the completely opposite direction. We're not going to beautify ourselves. Is that Topanga right there?
That's him, but not now.
It looks like he's with Topanga.
Oh.
So we, Plasma Walker, we actually do get pretty morbid. And I'm actually going to upload a video, or I'm going to suggest a video up here. Because we did an entire review completely in corpse paint. Mm-hmm. So we'll put the link to that like around. It'll either be this way or that way, but you'll see it'll come across the board. Okay. Sonically, it was amazing. Lyrically, it's kind of par for the course, right? Oh, you're gonna burn the crucifix. Okay. You're gonna cremate the soul of the Virgin born. Oh, okay. You're gonna freeze the shadow of the ashes.
Don't you think that was interesting though? It said cremate the soul.
Yeah.
Instead of the body?
That is pretty interesting. Why? What did you get?
I mean, how do you cremate a soul? Like a body, you're going to burn it and it's going to turn to ash, but it's a soul? Or do you think that they're just calling him a soul even though it's a body?
No, I don't think that they're going for theological accuracy. I think that they're trying to say that the destruction is going to be complete. Because if you cremate somebody after it's dead, but if like you cremate even to the soul,
oh wow, yeah,
you know, it's like Biggie saying, "My gat flies, baptized rap guys with the Holy Ghost." Get it?
No, say it again.
My gat flies. A gat is a gun.
I know
My
that.
gat flies, baptized rap guys with the Holy Ghost. With the Holy Ghost,
they're going to get baptized when they die because they're the Holy Ghost. Their ghost is going up?
The Christian phrase is baptizing someone in the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Right? But what my gat flies, baptized rap guys with the Holy Ghost. I put holes in most. So what he's saying is he's going to shoot you and put holes in your body and in your soul, and so you're going to be a holy ghost. You're going to be a ghost that has holes in it, right? See, Biggie, you can't fuck with Biggie lyrically. None of these kids can fuck with Biggie lyrically. I just blew somebody's mind. Somebody been listening to that song for years. Like, holy shit, that's what he meant. So he's saying like, I'm gonna put so many holes in you, even your ghost will be full of holes. Is what he's saying. So here he's saying, cremate the soul of the Virgin born. That's a smart line.
And don't you think it's interesting that
That's a smart line.
Called him the Virgin born? Is it like Virgin born? Is it?
Well, yeah, I don't think he's saying that because he believes in it. I think he's saying that
so we understand who he's talking about.
Right. It's an indicator of I'm talking about Jesus, because how many virgin-born folks are there, right? So like if you mention that, then everybody knows you're talking about Jesus. I think was what he's going for. Freeze the shadow of ashes and let it float away by the thunder listeners' intense eyelash movements under their concentration to open the cosmic lid. See, right here, like, I just feel like they tried and failed.
Yeah, I didn't... Okay, what were they trying to go for there?
Like, it's very poetic, quasi-scientific. You know, you got that. You know when you go into REM sleep, rapid eye movement?
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's what they were going for, but it's just very hard to like... When you're in the flow of metal, freeze the shadow of ashes and let it flow away by the thunder listeners' eyelash movements under their concentration to open the cosmic lid. That would have been that line. I would have been like, I get what you're saying. Say that in a different way. Because sometimes like the lyrics itself carries with it its own heaviness.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, fuck the shit, I'm sick of it, you're going down, this is a war, right? Like, it doesn't matter what you put under that as far as guitar goes. It's going to be heavy because that itself is heavy. So sometimes, if you overcomplicate the lyrics, it takes away from the flow and the experience. And I think that's one thing that rappers can get away with, because in certain forms of rap, that is the genre. Hiding those Easter eggs and challenging your audience to figure it out is the genre. But you see a guy like DMX. DMX never had any of these very complex metaphors. It was very simple. All I know is pain. All I know is rain. How can I maintain with that shit on my brain? I resort to violence. My killers move in silence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it like blew everything up because it had a riff. There's actually a guitar part in that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's why he didn't want to do it. He said it sounded like a rock and roll song. But what he did was he saw the song and he almost didn't even want it published. It's like the biggest song he'd ever done. He almost didn't want it published, but the way that he was coming at it lyrically made the song what it was. So sometimes when the lyrics are like too avant-garde, it kind of takes away from it. You know what I mean? Like, but I still think it was a massively, massively good song. Especially when you think about it from the sonic and what they did with the music and all the rest of it. It's unbelievable stuff. And obviously we've heard hundreds of songs like this now.
Yeah.
So it's not very shocking to us.
No, it wasn't even, I think because there's been so much stuff that's been so shocking.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm literally thinking of some of the lyrics right now that's like, wow, I cannot believe they said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, getting way too personal about Mary, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then this was kind of like,
although I will say, Daniel brought up, I have to bring it back up though, because this was interesting when he talks about crush not only our surrounding walls of curiosity, but also the hordes of blind believers. So he's telling, and I think actually somebody mentioned this about the whole like cosmic chaotic type of Satanism. Like there's different kinds of Satanism. And I think that guy that killed himself, I think it was from the band Death, I think it was. He was part of this cosmic whatever denomination of Satanism, which is about like chaos and you know, almost like a celebration or worship of entropy, really, when it comes down to it.
No way.
That's what it looks like to me. And I think Eric from Vatane is in that milieu as well. Like I think he's theistic with his Satanism, but he's also the chaos magic stuff. So
that is not for me. Even if I wasn't a Christian.
Yeah, you don't like chaos. I love chaos. Some people want to see the world. No, it's not that I want to see the world burn. I'm a lot more comfortable in chaotic situations. And I think the reason is because there's a lot less expectation for how you're supposed to behave in chaos. But when things are very ordered, then it limits what you can do. So it's really interesting because I was teaching this whatever, and it was about entering a room or whatever, and our group on the outside looking in, it looked extremely chaotic, but that's because everybody knew everybody. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So it looked chaotic and it looked disordered, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
But there was a ton of nonverbal communication that was happening in the video. So you're training people to do this shit, and they're like, yo, this is all wrong. Because they were taught it a certain way, and it was very regimented, because obviously if you mess up, you know what I'm saying? So it was just a very fascinating conversation, because they were saying, that's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. People are going to die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was looking, and then the other guys were like, no, people know that tactic. They know what you guys are doing. They know exactly where you're going to be, blah, 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 blah. So it's just very, very, it's just something. And my older brother's like that. My older brother's a very regimented. He's very, like, I know, like, if I hung out with my brother for a week, you would know what he's eating at this moment. Like, I know he's not eating at this moment because that's how he is. Like, he doesn't, and when he wanted to go do something, he went with an organization that was very, like, structured and ordered, and it's just fascinating. A lot of it has to do with your
disposition,
your fitra, as Muslims say, like, how you were born, you know what I'm saying, like what your personality and disposition is. But okay, Junior, you're smoking some interesting weed, man. I don't know, like, you got what's the name of it, yellow and red leaves and all that stuff. Yeah, so I just think that like right, the chaos, Satan, magic, or whatever. But right here it says it looks like he's calling on whatever being to like wreck the entire show, like destroy everything, open the cosmic lids, and crush not only our surrounding walls of curiosity, but also the hordes of blind believers, which is one of those things where the stereotype is Christians blindly follow their religion. And then the guys on the other side are curious and want to learn and explore and all the rest of it. And so what he's saying is when this being, whatever, opens his eyes, it's going to collapse everything. And so, which is, of course, is not true. I mean, the entire scientific endeavor in the Western world, at least this iteration of it, was started by us. And started by Christian. Obviously, Francis Bacon and all the rest of it. And it's interesting. I think order generates a lot more curiosity than chaos. So if you walk into, like, for example, why are we so to this day, why are we so curious about Stonehenge?
Who?
Stonehenge. You don't know what Stonehenge is. It's a famous place, and it's these giant sort of like rock.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Right? So you look, why are we so fascinated by it?
Oh, because the orderly design of it tells us that there is a reason, and we want to know what the reason is.
Yeah, so order generates...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's interesting.
Order generates way more curiosity than chaos does. Like if you walked into the woods and you saw a bunch of sticks like just there, you wouldn't do anything with it. It's when you walk in and you see something like this, and people go, okay, this is way too ordered for it to just be a random collection of stones. Plus, look what it's doing when the sun hits it and all the rest. The same thing with the pyramids. You had one of these pyramids that it was like at True North or something like that. Right. It's like, how did these people? How do you have a True North? How did that happen? You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So it is the order in the world that creates curiosity, not chaos. Chaos creates no curiosity. You walk in the woods, you see a bunch of sticks on the ground, there's no order to it, you're just going to walk right by it. I'm still...
It's true. Patterns.
Yeah.
You say, whoa, wait a minute.
Or even Richard Dawkins, God bless him, but, he was like, I'm knocked sideways by this microscopic machinery in a cell. And of course, it's amazing. You got an assembly line, and one of them is doing the ribbon this way, the other is doing the rhythm that way. And then, I'm talking to people, and they're like, oh, Finn, that doesn't necessitate a designer. Really? Then how comes Crick came up with the panspermia theory after he discovered the DNA?
Interesting.
It's like, come on, guys. Like, so anyway, so that's a stereotypical thing. I will say, though, modern Western evangelical is a completely uncurious endeavor. It just is. It's we've got everything. We know everything. So we're not going to look at science. We're not going to look at, we're not going to look at transitional anything. We're not going to look at the fossil. I don't want to hear none of that. I got it down. Our rigid interpretation of Genesis is the only orthodox one. And so we can't augment our interpretation at all. We're not going to talk about it. No. It's just boom. We just shut everything down, and the more questions you ask, the worse it becomes for you. So that brand of Christianity is absolutely, does follow that stereotype, but it hasn't been that way forever.
I think, too, when it talks about, like, the walls of curiosity and stuff, there's that verse that basically... Well, kind of like when you were explaining that the reason that Christians have, were very interested in science, less likely now, was because they had an understanding that because God created everything and that he created it in such an order that there was something to be found out, that you could dig into it and find a sort of order.
Right.
So, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about, and I'm not sure exactly how I was fitting this in, but it came in my head, so I'm going with it. The idea of crutches, that everybody will say, oh, if they'll say to a Christian, oh, that's your crutch. And I was thinking about how how does anybody survive this world without some sort of a crutch? There's something that helps you get through the day, something that brings you some sort of peace.
This is
whether
hilarious.
It's your music or it's your weed or your whatever, you know.
Oh my God.
What?
I'm having the most ridiculous, what do you call that thing?
Deja vu?
Yeah. Like everything that you just said, and even me looking at this and then the conversation about the weed, all of it happened before.
It's crazy.
Nobody can convince me otherwise. Somebody brought up Göbekli Tepe, and there you go. He's got these giant This is an artist's recreation of Göbekli Tepe, but I'll show the actual. But
you know what's
again,
weird?
it's this entire ordered megalithic structure that was like thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It's prehistory, I think.
Babe, pull up one of those things of what happens in those fields it's unexplained that they think was alien stuff.
Yeah, that's what. Which is also we had this conversation in my deja vu. Like this is the longest deja vu I've ever had in my entire life, and I'm freaking out.
Did that happen or did that break it?
No, I'm pretty sure that I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's freaking me out.
But did you see that thing? It looks like
Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah, but that looks like it's made of stone, right? And have you seen in the fields?
What?
Just look up the strange alien sightings of what happens in the fields,
Well,
like that design.
Oh, the crop circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more of a, naturalistic like...
For a crop circle?
Yeah, most of those are man-made.
Even when there was a bunch of them popping up all over the place the same
night?
night?
There's a lot of people that are like...
Bent, not broken?
Because, you know how I am,
yeah.
right? So if there's a naturalistic explanation for it, I'm going to go with that.
Well, you're going to have to
first.
tell me what the naturalist explanation is later.
Well, people just make them. They just... it's not hard to make a crop circle.
What?
What's so hard about making a crop circle? I don't understand.
How do you just bend?
And you whatever. But I am having a deja vu for sure.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. So I get what they're saying there about the lack of curiosity or whatever, because especially the early 90s, that was definitely the majority report of Christianity. And these guys are European, so I don't know what it was like for them, but it was definitely like that over here for sure. For sure. What do you give the song?
I'm not sure. You go first. Let me think.
I give it it's a solid 8.9 for me. It's not the song before it was the song of the night, and that's because of the guitar work. The guitar work was crazy. Mm-hmm. So the song before it was, and I feel like
the Summoning, the Nazgul one.
Yeah, I feel like this song got kind of unfairly treated by me because it's coming on the heels. It's coming on the heels of this my favorite, probably the favorite. The song that we listened to before is probably my favorite song of the year so far, just because of guitar and all the rest of it. But yeah, so I'm gonna give it an 8.7. What do you give it?
8.2.
Sean says 9.1 for the music, 1.9 for the
Cookie
Monster.
Anyway, great picks tonight, Daniel. We enjoyed our journey with you. I only wish I would have had corpse paint on.
Flight of the Nazgul, Sean, was the joint. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys. It's been close to 4 hours. Holy moly. Thank everybody for hanging out. I really, really appreciate it. We will have these videos up on the main channel pretty soon.
I'll start working on editing.
The entire stream is gonna be blocked because of the fascists at.
But we'll do what we can to get you a hookup.
Yeah, so we'll do what we can. Having said that, dear listener, I hope you guys have a good rest of the night. Shout out to Kevin Durant. Sorry, buddy. It is what it is. You got what you got. It's rubbish. And we really gotta give Daniel a big village shout out. Daniel How about you smoke them for us? How about that?
Smoke them if you got them, folks.
Smoke them if you got them. But honestly, guys, a big shout out to Daniel. Really, really good selections all around. Great job. And I just appreciate it, man. Thank you for hanging out. And you stayed with us the entire time, 4 hours as well. So
I know.
You're putting in work just like we were putting in work. Thank you guys so much. We're going to have another one like this, obviously. And for everybody in Twitter and Facebook world, peace out. We're going to continuously do this over and over again so you guys have more content and all that stuff. Hopefully you guys have noticed an uptick in Middle America as well as this. So we're going to do more. And if you're a patron, I'm working on some stuff I haven't even told Sori about. So that's coming up as well.
Oh, and
on
I had
Patreon.
some ideas too that I told him about.
I'm gonna jump in the best that I can. All right, there you go. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.